Good afternoon, my friends. We're here to study Parshas Terumah. All the Torah study today is going to be sponsored this whole week in memory of my friend Tuvia Ben Yislach, Dr. Tom Sachs, his Neshama Heaven Aliyah, sponsored by his wife Jill Sachs. And so today I want to start by talking about one pasuk, just one verse from the Torah, and we'll see how long we have to get through it, and if we finish that, we can go on to the next pasuk. And I want to talk about actually not even the whole pasuk, but just one word. The Torah at the beginning of Parshas Terumah lists those items that we're collecting, and those items that were really, Rashi says that they're 13, maybe they were 15, depends how you count them. And it says in the verse, "V'yichuli truma me'ez kol ish," take from me a truma from every person, a donation. And this is the offering that you shall take: gold, silver, copper, zahav, chasef, and nechoshet. We know what these words mean. Techelet, okay, there's a little bit of confusion there. Argamam, purple. Tolat shani, crimson. Sheish, v'izim. Linen and izim, it doesn't mean goats here, it means that the hair from the goats. That's what Rashi says. Okay, then it states va'orot elim ma'adamim. Okay, so this is the skins of the rams that they were ma'adamim. It doesn't mean that they were red rams. It means that they were dyed red. Well, that's how Rashi explains it. And then va'orot techashim v'atzei shitim. This is already more confusing. We'll skip the skins of the Tachash for a moment. The atzei shitim. What kind of wood is this? The Talmud tells us in Tractate Rosh Hashanah that the shitim is a term. There were 10 different types of shitim wood in the Bible, and that it refers to 10 different possible forms of wood. We're not going to get into exactly the wood. Where did they get this wood in the Bible? So Rashi tells us that Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, our patriarch, he planted these trees. Okay, so these are the Tachash. These are the different things. But I wanted to focus on it where it states va'orot techashim, the skins of the Tachash. The skins of the Tachash. What is this Tachash? What kind of animal is this Tachash? And it was where is it going to be used? Well, if we go a little bit ahead to chapter 26, verse 14, tells us, chapter 26, verse 14, va'asisa mechsela oel. You shall make a cover for the oel, for the Mishkan. The Mishkan is called an oel. You should make a cover for the tent. Oros elim adamim, and it will be made out of these skins that were dyed red. Umechsei oros techashim milmala, and above the tachash. Every time you see the word above in the Torah, it's suggestive that it's referring to the one who is above, i.e., God. The thing that is the highest point on this tabernacle where God's presence comes down, the highest point are the skins of the Tachash. What is this Tachash? What is this Tachash? Before we go into defining what's the Tachash, I'll just read for you the Rashi that describes the roof of this tent. Rashi says in verse 14, there's going to be a panel first of a roof made out of goat's hair on top of the tent, but then you need to make another roof on top of it. You have to make another cover. And what is this other cover? It's it comes from ram's hides that were dyed red. And then above it, this covering of the Tachash skin. So the Tachash skin, there are 3 levels. There's the goat's hair, the ram's skin, and then the Tachash. The Tachash is the uppermost part. It's the only part of the roof that people see. And how could you see it from a helicopter? So, but still, that's the only part that's visible. So, and these covers, it would cover only the roof, but it didn't go over the sides. Arkan Shlosham Virachban Asra. They were 30 amos long, and their width was 10 amos. That's the opinion of Rabbi Nehemiah. But according to Rabbi Nehemiah, according to Rabbi Yehuda, there was Mechseh Achad Haya, there was one covering. Half of it was the ram's and skin, and half of it was the tachash. But so there's a dispute. Is the tachash the only thing on the top of a 3-level roof, or is it combined on the top level with the ram skin? But every opinion is, even according to Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rabbi Nehemiah, of these two opinions, everyone is of the opinion that the top level of the Mishkan has the skin of the Tachash, So what is this Tachash? So we go to Rashi on our portion. First, I'll read the Rashi on when Tachash is first mentioned. Rashi says here, very brief comments. The Tachashim min chaya v'lo haisa el sha'ah. Rashi says this was a type of animal that was only created for that moment. Tachash was only there for that moment. It's a very, very difficult Rashi, as you'll see in a moment, because it seems to contradict the Gemara, but that's what Rashi says. This was a special creature only for that moment. V'harbei givanim hayulah. It had many different colors. Lakach maturgam. Therefore, the translation into Aramaic, how do you say this word in Aramaic, is sasgona. Shesas umisba'er begavanin shalo. The translation to Aramaic is sasgona because it is rejoicing and exalting itself. Misba'er, it's rejoicing and exalting itself, taking great pride in its colors. But there is a big problem with this Rashi, as the commentaries on Rashi point out. If there was something that only appeared one time in history, in the wilderness, for them to use this animal in the covering of the roof, then why is there an Aramaic word for it? There shouldn't be an Aramaic word. There shouldn't be an Aramaic word for it because it was never in Babylon. So therefore, Rashi is saying that the Aramaic word is not a alternative name for it, but it's an explanation of it. So before we go on to the Talmud's discussion of it, I just always like to share what the Baal HaTurim says. And the Baal HaTurim says on the verse, you shall make a covering for the tent made out of orot techashim milmala, the skins of the tachash from above. He says that tachash, the numerical value of tachash is sas givanim, rejoices in its colors. This creature of many colors. So that is actually the numerical value. The tachash rejoices in its many colors. Some read this Baal HaTurim as sheish givanim, or it has 6 colors. But in any event, so let's summarize what we said here, then I'll pause if anybody has any questions. We summarize by saying that there weren't that many items that were collected for the Mishkan. This list of 13 or 15 items, depending how you count, one of them is this Tachash. And Rashi's description of the Tachash is based upon the translation of the Aramaic. And it's that there was this creature that had many different colors that was created only for that one moment. So that was the Tachash and was this item that was above. But we're left with many questions. Why was this the roof, the most elevated point of the Mishkan? What's the concept here that has many colors? Who's going to see it? Nobody's going to see it. What's the source for Rashi? So we'll go to that in a moment, but first let me take, if anybody has any questions, let me pause.